All right, so I'm just gonna warn you right now. I'm not gonna try to spoil Black Panther, but if anybody has seen or not seen the movie and you don't want to get spoiled 1000%, go watch the movie, come back. As you know, this thing is up for like at least 24 hours. If you're on Patreon, it's up the entire time. But for those of you who are in the chat, we are going to be talking about Black Panther. We're going to be talking about the 3 videos that I made this past week. It was a January wrap-up. Did a video on my cousin Lil Pump. And then on a movie that's so bad it's good. But as you guys know, thank you for joining. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this in the future, if you're just leaving a comment, that's dope as well. It's brought to you by Patreon, as you can see right there, my wonderful Patreon supporters. You can support if you like what I do. If you don't hate it, if you like it, you can support for just $1 over there on Patreon. You get like early stuff, you get bonus content. I'm giving out McDoubles over there for free, and a bunch of cool things that happen over there. And like I said, like this show, it's a live show that I do where I look back on the stuff over there that I've done throughout the week. But the Patreon people get bonus stuff, and they also get this show completely over there because this is up for like 24 hours. But if you don't have the money, that's completely cool. That's why I do this so all of you guys who watch my videos, if you have any questions, I'll be answering them in the comment section right here. A little chat that we got. I'll pull it up. Boom! Look at those beautiful people right there talking about stuff. Paddington 2 plot twist explanation when it's taken like 3 months to do that one, but I am going to get it out. So if you guys are watching this, highly appreciate it. I will be talking about Black Panther, like I said. The "what are those" meme is probably the biggest thing that's come out from not only the people who loved it, but also the people who hated it. That's like the one thing that like people have been bragging about, whether it's dated or whether it's not. I'm going to be curious to see what you guys have to say about that. I'm going to try not to spoil it. Like, no big things, but I'm going to talk about it. If you guys have any questions, we'll discuss it. But, like I said, let me start off with a recap of some of the videos that I've done. I did this one right here. It was a monthly wrap-up. It was something that I've been thinking of doing. So, like, I just did it. And I guess you guys liked it. If I think it was like one person who didn't like it. So I might stop. But the rest of you liked it. So I'm prepping the one for February already because, like I said, I cover a lot of movies, or I watch a lot of movies. Marco's a boy right there. If you can see Marco right there. There's also this right here, if you don't know. It's like if you don't want to give monthly because you're like, I don't know, this guy might die. If you want to just tip right here, it helps a lot, and I highly appreciate it. But like I said, just watch for free. That's cool as well. But for those who tip, like my boy Marco right here, shout out to him. I'm about to watch Black Panther, McDouble content. I think that's become the new meme with McDoubles. But yo, I hope you like it. Try not to get spoiled and enjoy it. Hopefully you're watching it. If you haven't seen Black Panther, hopefully you watch it like in the biggest. I saw it in Dolby Atmos. If you can watch it in IMAX, you'll watch it in IMAX as well. But let me give a quick recap over here. Like I was saying, I did a recap for January. People liked it, so I'll be doing one for February. I like it because I watch a lot of movies, don't always cover them. So I figured that was like the best way to talk about them. And at the same time, kind of like, maybe you guys haven't heard of these movies. Maybe, even if I don't like them, that's fine. Maybe if you guys, like, hear about it for the first time, you'll be able to find your favorite movie of the year. You never know. Anyways, these were some of the comments that I got, so let me do that comment talk back. Marco, actually, right here. McDoubles are too overrated. It's better to go grab a Patreon account and support content creators, even if it sounds too cheesy. See, that's why Marco's the boy right there. Didn't Shimmer Lake come out a few months ago? This was something that I wanted to bring up because I put Shimmer Lake on my January list because Netflix told me it was new. It wasn't new. That thing came out like 50 years ago. I'm curious what you guys think about Netflix doing. There's actually a really good video about Netflix's algorithm, how they mess with thumbnails. I might put it in the description of this video, but it's really dope. Just search up how Netflix is unique for you. This guy killed it. It's a fantastic video. So yeah, just because Netflix says it's a new video doesn't mean it's a new video. Let's see. We got always rent poorly reviewed movies at Redbox so I can remind myself what a bad movie looks like. 1000% agree with this. You don't know what a good movie is like unless you experience the bad stuff. Let's see. Quinn Shepard basically. So this is for the movie. One of the movies that I covered, it was called Blame. And the girl directed it. She did everything. Like this guy says right here. Tommy Wiseau'd it. That to me is fantastic. So I highly recommend watching the movie just for that alone, or at least watching the next thing that she made, because I said it was like a concept project for it. Movie was Blame, in case you're curious about it. 2:30, play for Netflix when they get a team. All right, so I said play instead of pay, but you know what? Maybe I did mean play, because they're facing Amazon. That elbow magic trick has me stunned. For those of you who don't know, this is something I've had this since I was a kid. Right here, boom. It's idiotic. So for those of you who think I'm about to do something serious, I'm not. There's this trick about like not being able to reach something. I learned this when I was a kid. You just do this right here. Just rub it like that. Okay. Boom, you're able to reach it. I don't know how it happens. It's a God-given gift. Runs in the family, something like that. So if it doesn't work for you, maybe you're not related to me. McDoubles. Oh, so we already covered this one. So that was it. If you guys are curious, if you guys have any suggestions for me to watch in February that may not be on my radar, let me know, and then I'll be covering it in that video coming up for February. But hopefully you guys like that. If you didn't, or if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know. Like that, me not being able to know how to speak. But you know who does know how to speak? My cousin. My cousin Lil Pump over here, Lil Pumpernickel, as some people call him on the streets. I'm not saying that I'm the biggest fan. I cover a lot of these rappers because I like covering hip-hop and music and stuff. And a lot of people think like, oh, I'm obsessed with them. I'm not, if you listen to what the videos say. What I wanted to bring up in this video was two things. And that was, for those who hate him, you're just giving him attention. And for those who love him, I hope they realize that it's just fast food. It's the McDouble of entertainment in music. So let's see. Someone tell this fool not to use God's name in vain. So for those of you who didn't watch the video, I accidentally said something bad about Lil Pump. You kind of look similar. It's because we're cousins. Who takes rapid advice from a nerd who collects comic books? Well, Logic connects comic books, and that guy listens to Logic, so that was completely dumb. So Lil Pump is a cheeseburger, is what some people got out of the video. And maybe that's the case. Maybe he is a cheeseburger. But if he's a cheeseburger and I'm his cousin, maybe I'm a cheeseburger as well. 444. I said something at 444. And I'm for those of you watching this chat right now, for those of you who get the chance to watch this, I put Easter eggs in all of my videos depending on the timestamps. So like this one is a nod to Jay-Z's 444, and if you go back and watch all my videos and look at specific time, I'm kidding, I don't do that at all, but if you do want to go watch my videos, that'll help. Did you eat the cheeseburger? Yeah. I also did another video called The Best Worst Movie. This is something I want to talk to you guys about right here. I wish when we made our top list that we were able, or top lists, that we're able to put movies that aren't considered good, but you all know, you watch these movies that get like a below 50% rating, and they're fantastic. You watch it with your friends, you're watching it over whatever's nominated for the Oscar, and you love those movies. I'm telling you right now, as a big fan of Clint Eastwood, this movie's straight up dookie, and I loved every minute of it. It's, I almost forgot what it was. The 1517 to Paris. It's that movie based off of the real event where he got the real people who did it, so they're not really actors. It's so bad. It is good. Like I was saying, I think it's like a PureFlix film. For those of you who know what PureFlix is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's some of the cheesiest stuff out there. I did not expect Clint Eastwood to make a movie like that. Let's see. Rotten Tomatoes, 25%. 1517 to Paris. My God, it's bigger than your statistics. There is a scene in this movie where one of the moms legitimately says, like, she's talking to the principal, and the principal is like, yo, your kid is not going to make it. Like, statistically. You know what I mean? Like, statistics don't mean that they're against you. It's just showing you, look, this is the pattern from previous kids. Your mom, you love your kid. Let's try to like, help out and do something different. She's like, nah, my God, is bigger than your statistic. Is only one of like 20 lines in this movie that are fantastic. Yo, it's small. There's something about casting people that have gone through trauma to reenact it that rubs me the wrong way. I kind of agree with you as well. I thought it was a little disgusting that they got the actual terrorists to come back and do the movie. That was really dumb. I didn't think that was a little uncalled for. I'm just kidding. Those are 3 videos that I made this past week. Pretty decent reception. I'd say probably the Lil Pump one is because people don't want me to cover mumble rap. I promise you. Someone said to cover Brockhampton. Someone else said to cover Vince Staples. There's a lot of Brockhampton music, so I just have to catch up with that. Once I finish catching up with that, I'm going to start making a video on that, but I'm curious to know your thoughts on it or what videos you want me to do. Let me jump to the comment section right here, some Q&A stuff, as we talk about Black Panther and dive into it a bit. ATZ, you need to watch After Last Season if you like good, bad movies. I've never heard of that one, so I might write that one down. After Bad Season. Or After Last Season. For those of you who do like really movies that are so bad they're good, but you don't want to go pay the ticket, or you don't want to leave like in the snow and shovel yourself out of your house to go see 1517 to Paris, Identical. I have been praising. I mentioned Identical more than I mentioned my favorite movie of whatever that year was. The Identical is one of the best bad movies that's out there. It might still be on Netflix, so check that out if you can. Let's see. How old are you actually? You're not supposed to. That's assuming my age. Assuming I'm 25, 24. I'm about to be 25. Believe it or not. 1517 to Paris seems pretty terrible. I'm in, definitely. I have a vendetta against people saying Black Panther is the first black superhero. Like, bro, what happened to Tupac and all that's on me? Tupac was a superhero in that movie because for whatever reason he was able to time travel an iPhone and use it in the movie. Oh, Marco, you're just spoiling me right now for sure. Deserve, bro. Take these sort of thanks YouTube to buy some fresh comics. Thank you. Actually, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, so you guys know the heads up. I'm switching all these comics. I'm trying to get a new backdrop, and make it look. I mean, I'm still gonna have the nerd stuff in there. I'm not gonna deny the nerd in me, but I am gonna do. I'm working on something new for the background, so people can stop like focusing on the background and not what I'm trying to say in the video. But I've also been wanting to change it because there's like a glare and stuff that I get, and I don't even like half these comics. There's like a certain half over here that I do like. The other ones just needed to fill it out. But thanks again, Marco. Let's see. Do you think IMAX is best choice for CGI heavy films because the details give away its fakeness? I do, only because the sound, at least for the sound. I just watched Bird Revelation from Dave Chappelle and have been in shock for a while. Do you know the story of Dave Chappelle, and if so, how did you feel after watching it? I actually made a video on it, but I loved that one more than the other one that he released. Huge Dave Chappelle fan, and I love the parable that he gives at the end. So I've been following for a while. Some guy said he's like, there's no way you've been following him. I'm like, well, I have. And if you haven't seen his stuff, go back. Most of them are on YouTube. Watch his sketches from the Dave Chappelle show. They're fantastic. I wish more people knew about him. Let's see. Shout out to Blade. All right, so this is an interesting thing. Let's get into this Black Panther stuff right here. All right. I think Black Panther was a fine movie. Like, I think it's not an outstanding film in and of itself, but in terms of a Marvel movie, it's great. Now, some people obviously want to over-politicize it. Other people want to under-politicize it. Brought somewhere in the middle. Black Panther is based off, like literally the name Black Panther is political. The man is a politician. He's a king. I don't want to spoil it, but the whole theme that happens with the villain, very political. And you know what? It comes to a point where people are like, I agree with that right there. It is not the first black superhero, just like Coco wasn't the first Hispanic, like, big blockbuster that was out there. But it's like one of the first really good ones. For people who bring up Blade. Someone brought up, I'm blanking on his name right now. The black movie where he literally slaps women. I think it's Shaft, if I'm not mistaken. They're like, yo, Shaft. You guys had Shaft. Why are you making Black... Shaft beat women. What are you talking about? What they keep forgetting is that there are really good superhero movies that have been out there in the past, like Hancock. Hancock's a fantastic movie in my opinion, but there hasn't been a Marvel hero that, you know, black kids can look up to. I'm not black, but if a kid is watching this movie and like having that same feeling that I had when I watched Coco, and I'm like, yo, that's me on screen as a cartoon character, why not? Now, people overpraising it, I get why you would be upset, like some people calling it the best movie of the year, but think about the person who's calling it the best movie of the year. You've probably never heard of them before in your life. So just like you weren't paying attention to their opinions before, let them have the best movie of the year. Bad opinions on movies have been around for the longest time. You go watch it. If you like it, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. Whatever it is. I enjoyed the movie for what it was, which is a Marvel movie. Some people were saying, the city of Wakanda doesn't make any... Of course it doesn't make any sense. It's from a comic book. It's about an alien element, asteroid that came and crashed on the country and helped them out. Of course it's not going to make any sense. But the one thing I will say is that I still am not a big fan. I know some people are bringing up the CGI. The CGI at the end of the movie, I'm not a fan of it in other movies, in other Marvel movies, and other movies in general. Not the biggest fan of it in this one either. I also am not, as you can see from the title of the video, the biggest fan of the memes. Now, your boy Taika Waititi, if you guys don't know him, he's the guy who did Thor Ragnarok, and he's done other fantastic films. He has a video, and he says it in a couple of interviews, where he mentions why that happens in a lot of movies. He says, because by the time you write the script, right, you are writing the script months go by that you're writing the script, and let's say they think of a joke. And then after those months, they rewrite and they like relook at the script. Then they go and they pitch it. Then it's bought. And then it's approved. And then they go through the whole pre-production and they cast and they get everything ready. And then they shoot the movie for like 3 or 4 months. Then after 3 or 4 months, then it comes the other 4, 5, 6 months for production and, you know, or post-production, putting it out there. Then it's finally in theaters. And then you're hearing a joke that was written so many years ago. And Taika's like, that's why I like improvised half of my movie, because then the jokes can't get old. They were made on the spot and they're authentic. So I think when it comes to a lot of the memes that were in there, I can think of some right now. The "what are those" meme, I knew about it before going in because they had it in a clip. So I was like, oh, okay. It's a dead meme. For those of you who know me, it's a dead meme. If you find it funny, that's okay. Dead meme. Yo, when and again, I don't want to spoil it. When Claw, who I thought was fantastic in the movie, straight up says, after he explodes something and money's going everywhere, haha, I made it rain. Nah. There was a couple of other things in the movie that I thought were a little bit cheesy. But I thought, again, it's a Marvel. People keep forgetting it's a Marvel movie. For those who are overhyping it, for those who are underhyping it, it's a Marvel movie. Have fun with it. If somebody else likes it, that's great. If somebody else doesn't, you know what happens? March comes in and you keep watching movies. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about it, so I'll read some of the comments that you guys have. I finally made the live chat. I love you and your channel. Thank you, Casey, and mention your comment right here. It's a fake place. Y'all need to chill. Yeah, so someone brought up how Wakanda... Someone actually thinks there's like a place in Africa that's like Wakanda and is hiding things, and I'm like, no. Did you stay for the post-credit scenes? How were they? I think they're okay. I don't think they do any... I think one of them didn't need to be a post-credit scene. Could literally have been the end of the movie. The other one, I think, is trying to set up something for Infinity War, but it's still not, because it shows a particular character. I thought they were okay. It wasn't anything massive. The joke worked for me. After credits were fine. It's dope. I personally felt like when black celebrities said it was proper black representation was a bit pandering. I think black celebrities are taking it out of context, as most of it see it as another MCU film. Yo, if they're happy, that's the thing. If they're happy with it, that's fine. I won't mention that because then someone will be like, oh, you're not black, you're not allowed to speak to it. I'll speak as Mexican. When people were happy for Coco, that's dope because it's like the first big Disney movie where you're seeing it with a lead. But to disregard every other Hispanic person who's been out there making movies, I mean, it's disrespectful to all those people, but it doesn't mean that you can't be happy about it. It would have been better if they said these nuts. Yeah, well, these nuts, that's an everlasting meme that will last forever. Yo, that was, what are those jokes, was cringy. Not to mention the story took place in Central Africa, but people acted like they were from all the U.S. because of how they acted towards race, even though no one outside of the U.S. is that obsessive. That's a great point you bring up there. A lot of the things that people complain about is, where's the Asian hero? Where's all the Asian representation when that gets whitewashed and stuff? And then you go over to Asia. There's real videos, it's not me, of like them going, yeah, have you not seen our animes? You not see how white they make how wide-eyed they make their animes? It's weird to see the flip. I have a buddy who's Egyptian. He says the same thing in Egypt. They want to see other people other than themselves. But the difference is that you can't compare America to other countries. We have a lot of things that are different, and America is a melting pot of a bunch of other people as well. What else we got? To be honest, media will say it's the best racial ethnic atmosphere, but the new shift to now theaters got to sell seats. True, and it did. Yo, this movie has made money. Did Black Panther, Wonder Woman, its ending? It's not, if we're talking CGI, it's not as bad as the CGI in Wonder Woman. Leaked line from Infinity War. Damn, Daniel, Tony Stark. That's a good one. I'll give you that one. You're pretty hot. I'm not gay. Don't worry. ATZ, have you seen the videos calling Black Panther alt-right? Pretty interesting perspective if you ask me. I haven't, but if you want to send them to me, give them a look. Thoughts on Kanye West as a rapper and an artist and Watch the Throne? I love Watch the Throne. I think Watch the Throne is one of the best collab albums. Better than the Future and Drake one. Better than all the, what's his name, Metro Boomin ones that came out this last year, and I had fun with those. Better than, there's another one that I'm forgetting. It's better than the J. Cole Kendrick one that hasn't even come out. And I'm a big fan of Kanye West. I love his craziness. I love all of it. I hope that he, I'm glad that he's successful with the style. I want him to go back to music a bit. Damn, Daniel's an eternal meme. Black Panther was just a tight ad. Why does Wakandan speak in English? That's a good point. While I was watching the movie, my girlfriend looks over to me and goes, because they're like reading their hieroglyphs or whatever it is that you want to call their specific language that they have, and she straight up goes, because they also speak Wakandanese, whatever you want to call it in the movie. She's like, why are they speaking English if they're in Wakanda? And then later on, they shift from speaking Wakandanese, unless it's a real language, unless it's like, you know, an actual African language, but, you know, they're in Wakanda. And then they go back to English. As a comic book fan, and for those of you who have read comic books, when you're reading the comic book, it's just automatically assumed that it's translated from whatever language they're in. I'm going to just say that. Let's see. Are you excited for Red Sparrow? I am. Someone came out and said that a bunch of people are going to hate it, regular audience, but that it's a slow burn and that it's pretty good. I mean, I'm excited for every movie that we see. I want to give everything the benefit of the doubt. I don't think they are disregarding any other black comic book movies. It's just on a different scale, especially when it comes to the whitewashing of African and Egyptian characters. That's what I'm saying. Let people be happy that they get this movie. It's dope, and Ryan Coogler's fantastic. It's not better than his other two, but Ryan Coogler, Chadwick Boseman, all the Dora Milaje was fantastic in this movie. Obviously, my favorite is Michael B. Jordan, because the dude's getting even more jacked than before. 200 million plus. Overseas, not domestically. Domestically, I think I'm at 190, but that's today. Tomorrow we may wake up and who knows what it might have made when they finally tally it up. Now I just really want a regular black hero, one where you shouldn't have to care that it's a black movie. I love Black Panther nonetheless. Agreed. And again, I remind you, Hancock exists. Hancock exists and is dope. I like Immortal Technique. I did too. I haven't heard any of his new stuff, but I like all the older stuff that he used to make. Making an album better than Drake and Future isn't really hard. I'm curious if you guys heard the Black Panther album, which is one of my favorite go-to albums right now. Future's La-Di-Da-Di-Da line is the best line of 2018. They have Siri earbud translator. Hey, that's probably what it was. Their technology is so dope. You should add a classic movie to your monthly recap. If you guys have a classic movie you want me to talk about, or if I rewatch something, I might bring it up. Black Panther kills Pink Panther. That happens in the sequel, so don't be spoiling it for people. Connected, Black Panther is connected, Hancock was alone, and Blade was horror. Let's see. Gonna see it soon. Where would you rank this as a Marvel film, and is it better than Captain America Winter Soldier? I'm gonna say something that maybe not a lot of people will like, and I do have to see it again. I'm not the biggest fan of Captain America Winter Soldier. I don't think it's better than Civil War. And my main point for that is that I liked the aggressiveness that Black Panther had in Civil War. Black Panther was the best part of Civil War, in my opinion. He's not as cool as he was in that movie. But it's still up there. I don't have it in my top 5, but maybe in my top 10 if I'm looking at the list. Opinion on MJ's role in Creed. Fantastic. One of his best roles. Just how he got ripped. Bro, I'm looking at the Creed. Like, I don't know why the other day I just took out Creed. I just left it there just to stare at it. I love the ending to Creed. It's one of my favorite final acts. Hey, dude, did you hear about black people asking for refunds when they found out Black Panther was a superhero movie and not a black history piece? I have not. That could be fake. In the video that I'll be releasing tomorrow, I also cover how people were talking about that they got beat up during the screenings, and they had like pictures, and then someone looked at the picture and like reverse imaged it, and they're like, "You're a freaking liar." Hey, people want to get those retweets, so they do what they can. Yo, I love the channel. Have you seen Early Man? Good or no? Also, would you want to see the Marvel Netflix characters in Infinity War films? I would like to see them in one-offs. I haven't seen Early Man yet. I'm probably going to catch it tomorrow or Tuesday. So I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm a huge fan of that company. Love all the Wallace and Gromit stuff, Chicken Run, so I am looking forward to it. The only thing that completely threw me off while watching Black Panther was all the actors doing their own version of an African accent. You know when a movie ends, and sometimes it's a director that gets like the first like credit thing, sometimes it's like line producer or like production something. It should have been the dialect coach. These guys tried. The only one who, in my opinion, who I think can do it is Forrest Whitaker. Everyone else, and you can say whatever, if it worked for you, that's great. Listen to their interviews where they're like, yeah. They tried, I'll give them that. Let's see. Most rap is Sabanist hop hop. Very little hip hop. No hip in their hop. I'm gonna print that out. Did Black Panther reach your expectations from the hype created by the character in Civil War? Answer that. I liked him better in Civil War. No one told the villain why he was wrong. To me, it felt like the movie was saying his point is just as valid as Black Panther's, because we never see anyone tell him why he's wrong. I'll give a little hot take right here. Part of me, if you know what the villain's talking about, part of me felt like someone who wrote this movie said, yo, this is what we believe in. Disney ain't gonna let us have that be the hero's mentality. Let's put it at the villains, but let's never correct him. The hero still wins, and he does correct him by saying, he's like, no, we can't do that. So that there is a point where they say, yo, what you're trying to do, we can't do that. Because as you know, the bad guy goes as far as saying everything but a color. But he mentions everything but a color when saying what's got to be done. And they do correct him. They tell him like, yo, that ain't the way to go, man. But a part of me was just like, someone's bound to watch this movie and go, yeah, this is what we have to do. We have to get our weapons from Wakanda and do this uprising. Not realizing that, one, that's not the way to go. And two, you ain't getting weapons from Wakanda because it ain't real. What did the future line make it in the movie? P.S. I need to know. No, it did not make it in the movie. Think Lottie Lottie God. Yeah, Hancock was dope and a way different perspective on the other side of having superpowers. Few people will read subtitles for Wakandan language. No, 1000%. I get it why. I just think it's a little weird when you do think about it. Thoughts on Infinity War. Just saw screening. It was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. What do you think of the movie Fantastic Mr. Fox? It's good, but not one of my favorites of his. I'm obviously biased to Grand Budapest Hotel because I played the lobby boy in it. Black Panther was kind of disappointing to me. Characters were kind of bland with a pretty okay script. I'll give you that. I've heard some people say we don't really see Killmonger's struggle. And I agree with you guys. Like, I actually think that's a valid point. We don't really see him struggling. They tell us that he struggled. I get what they were going for. So for those of you who see it and you're like, yo, it's a show don't tell thing. I agree with you. I had a good discussion with that on someone on Twitter. I think that what they were going for was they knew the audience of the movie and they knew they would get the struggle they were talking about. Now you can argue, well, yeah, but a movie should be open to every demographic, right? Because I can watch Coco and understand everything that's happening, but they should explain it to people who don't know the movie, who don't know that specific culture. So, yeah, I can see what you're talking about when it comes to them not fleshing the characters as much as they should have been. I figured that they just assumed people would get the struggle that he went through and be like, I connect with him. I mean, think about it. His accent, the way he spoke in slang, even though, yeah, he was raised in Oakland, but he did go out into the military, and it's just like, I don't want to spoil it all. That's not too much of a spoiler, but you'll see. You hear his accent in the movie, and a lot of people were like, why has he got such a heavy accent? It's like he came straight from Fruitvale, went into this movie. How many years will you give it until superhero fatigue sets in just like the Westerns? I think once Marvel gives up. I'm being straight honest. I think once Marvel gives up. Did anyone else get the Malcolm X Martin Luther King vibe? 1000%. Have you seen the headline about a fake injury? Yes, I had brought that up earlier. Thought on Loki as a villain. I don't think he was the best villain, not even as a strong one. Everybody knows, but the best villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Maculus the Destroyer from Thor 2. Loki's okay. I do like him. I like the actor more than I like Loki. Are you excited for Isle of Dogs? Yes, I am. Every African have different tones when they speak English. That's true, but we're not talking Africa. It was supposed to be one place. Also, it's a fake accent, and these guys don't actually have that accent. So it was just, it's not dissing anyone from Africa. It's a dialect coach who taught him stuff. Do you love BBCs? Yes, they're the best. Thoughts on Wayne? I like that new song that he released where he just rhymed some crazy word 1,000 times. I want him to come back. They need to set him free. Were you disappointed that the Black Panther's album was used less in the film? Not really. Because I didn't realize it till the end when Ludwig's name came out. For those of you who don't know Ludwig, I'm a huge fan of the Creed album. And the Creed album had Gambino in it. I was like, yo, that's dope. Who is the director of Creed? Coogler. Coogler's making this movie. Now he's got the next best soundtrack, in my opinion. And the one thing I thought I was missing, I was like, man, I really wish Gambino was in this album. Then I see who did the score. It's Gambino's boy, his dude who's been with him like for almost the start. Ludwig, he did the score, and I love the score. I love the drum score. All of you guys know there's that video out there about how bland Marvel's score is. I thought it was fantastic, and I'm okay with the whole album not being in there because I get to listen to the album outside of it. Let's see. Yo, Biddy Relevant, what was your opinion on Iron Man 3? It's fun. The twist was great, but on such an iconic character. I like the twist because I wasn't connected to the iconic character, but I get people being mad. Do you not think Michael B. Jordan is just meh? I'm a fan of him. I'm going to watch it again because parts of me, as I was thinking about it, I was like, I think he's trying a little too hard to look cool. So, yeah. What is your favorite song off the Black Panther soundtrack? I got two. Paramedic keeps rising. It's been X, but Paramedic keeps rising up there just because of how crazy the flows are from SOB. The language is based on real African language. Oh, cool. If you know which one it was, because I have friends who know Swahili, and I know bits of Swahili, but I wasn't sure exactly what language this would have been, considering it's Wakanda. What films from 2017 will be remembered as classics? The Emoji Movie. What's your favorite P.T. Anderson film? Paul Thomas Anderson? Magnolia. Was Run the Jewels even in Black Panther? I don't remember it. No, just the trailer. Ludwig is such a nice man. Yes, he is. Babylon 5 is a show that I will one day catch up on. So what do you think about the people who actually believe Wakanda is real? You know what? Anything is possible. Ego the Living Planet was the best comic book film villain of the year. Almost. Saw Super Dark Times based on your recommendation on Twitter. Dying to know what your fan theory about the ending is. I promise I'm going to try to release it this Wednesday. Let me cover some other stuff right here. Thoughts on Johansson? Oh, he's fantastic. We covered this last week. It sucks, dude. I loved him. Definitely would love to hear your thoughts on classic movies. What are your thoughts on Altered Carbon? Also got a video coming out on it. 2 videos. One on my second channel, LME. If you guys don't know about it, I pretty much just run down and I just spoil a movie. My LME channel is all about like when you're watching a movie and there's somebody next to you, you know, and you like kind of like talk about the movie like, yo, isn't that whatever. That's kind of all my thoughts, but in a video, like a 5-minute video, just spoiling the movie. And like, it's if someone said, yo, I'm not going to watch this movie, explain it to me. That's what I do. And it's like another way to kind of cover a review with spoilers. Top 5 MCU villains. Iron Man in Civil War. Loki. What did I just say? Killmonger. Malekith the Destroyer for the top 2. Let's see. My bad. It's Osa with a click to it. Cloverfield Paradox was kind of bad. Yeah, it's true. Rian Johnson is the biggest villain in Hollywood right now. Y'all gotta leave Rian Johnson alone. He's an innocent man, alright? He directed what they gave him to. I don't even like most of his movies. They're okay, but I gotta leave him alone. What do you think when you see many black people love praising him so much, but most don't know Stanley created? It's a little funny. People, if anybody is saying that, you know, and I'm sure that there is, I'm not going to say that they're the majority. Yeah, it's funny because it is written by a Jewish dude. Wakanda has more than one culture mixed to it, multicultural society, but share the same language. I'll look more into that. From what I was aware, it was 5 tribes. One of them was the Wakandan tribe. Have you thought of watching the new Netflix show, Everything Sucks? Kind of. I saw the trailer to it, like it played, you know, when you turn on Netflix. If you've seen it and you think it's good, let me know. Your background reminds me of Ray William Johnson. Everybody says that. Like, I never watched that many Ray William Johnson videos, but I guess like he had the squares in the back. I don't know if they were comics or not, but yeah, I get that a lot. Some people say I don't listen to what you have to say because you remind me of Ray William Johnson. I don't know what to tell you. I'll answer 5 more. Let's see. I was so confused what happened to Martin Freeman's character until the mid-credits scene. Yeah, my man just disappears. The Hobbit literally just disintegrates. Up and away. What did you think of Thor Ragnarok being a straight-up comedy? I think it had a lot of opportunities to be a dark film and great for its development, and I don't think the comedy was the best idea. I made a video on it, so I'll for those who haven't seen it, the spoilers are over there, but I liked it. I do think he does go through a lot, and I think because of it being so comedic, people didn't see like the literal deaths and changes that happen to him, but I think he progresses. Did you watch Black Mirror, and is it good? Highly recommend it. Biggest villain was Amy Pascal. Now we're talking. Now somebody knows. Yes. Should have never fired my boys from Solo, and Solo looks like trash in my opinion. Do you think Marvel uses jokes too much in their movies? Because I don't mind them. I don't mind them. I just, like I said, what I brought up earlier, I wish that they weren't old jokes that when the movie gets released, we're like, yeah, that ain't funny anymore. I felt Doctor Strange did that a lot, and the "what are those" joke, I think, to me did that as well. Let's see. Do you know Dayway? I don't know if that's a person or if that's like a that way. Have you seen the videos on how bad The Last Jedi bombed in China and how a movement is rising again? I have not seen that. Again, if you want to send me a playlist, send me all these playlists. I'll watch the video. Yo, have you seen season of Fargo? I've only seen the first season, but I need to see season 3 because it has Mary Elizabeth Winstead. From what I heard, definitely want to see that. Biggest was Colin Trevorrow. I don't know what Colin Trevorrow was doing after Book of Henry, but I'll answer some other questions. Just again, recap right here. Show is brought to you by Patreon. If you like the videos that I do for just $1 a month, that means it's only $12 for the year. If you want to help out, you can go over there to Patreon. I try to put videos early, bonus content. Like sometimes I make a video and I cut some things out for the flow of it because it's extra stuff. I'll upload it over there and we can talk more about the movie or whatever topic the video is that I'm making over there on that. I have the movie trivia show where we're getting so close to doing it, and I'm like really excited for it because it's kind of going to be like this where I get to talk to you guys, but I'll literally have 3 of you on the show to participate in this movie Jeopardy, and everybody else for just $1 a month you get, and I'm going to try to make it weekly, a weekly movie trivia show that you get to play along with. So I'm really excited for that. Again, for just $1 a month, if you want to go support the show, definitely go over there. If you want to catch these weekly, there's also like the tip jar thing, or we could just talk right here for free, just like all the videos are for free. If you don't have money, that's fine. When you guys comment, when you guys share, when you guys insult, when you guys do whatever it is that interacts with the video to help it out, I highly appreciate it. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to, again, the chat for those of you guys who watch this live. For those of you who watch it later on, thank you for watching as well. Remember, I try doing them on Sundays, these live streams where my voice goes out because I just want to answer as many questions as you guys have. Why don't you do reviews for TV series? It takes so long to watch a TV series. For me, I want to pay attention to it, and like half of it is fillers, like 10 episodes, I don't know. Is the CSI agent forced diversity? If you're talking about the movie, I don't think so. I think they have him in there to kind of tie in with something for Infinity. What about Steel Panther? Never heard of Steel Panther. They made Poor Gimme Rum because he's Latino. They didn't. Yes. So, where would I send you those videos? Twitter. DM me on Twitter if you have a Twitter. Let's see. You have earned my $1 a month, brother. Take care. I appreciate that, man. Like I said, I have 3 more videos coming out this week. I'll have the live stream again next week. So if you have any questions, that you think I may be skipping, because as you can see, the chat goes everywhere, send them to me. So follow me on Twitter at The A to Z Show. Follow me on Instagram at The A to Z Show. You can comment and send me questions over there so I can answer them, and you'll be able to see it on the show, cover them for sure, and so they don't get lost. But other than that, this upcoming week, I am going to be making a video on Black Panther. Depending on when you're watching this, it might be out already. On Black Panther, I will finally make that video on Super Dark Times and my theory for it. Other people have the same theory, so I don't think it's too crazy. I'll be making a video on that, and I will also be making a video on graffiti penises. See you then.